สวัสดีค่ะ Good evening, Excellency, honorable guests, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. We are delighted to welcome you to the Asia Pacific Digital Talent Summit 2022. This is co-hosted by Huawei and the ASEAN Foundation. My name is Rangsiya Leelatepawan. It's my pleasure to be your host for this session. This session brings together perspectives from private sector, government, ASEAN representatives, academia, and youth to jointly promote digital talent development, unleashing digital transformation. Before we proceed to the agenda, we would like to invite you to witness the Asia Pacific Youth Journey during the Asia Pacific Seeds for the Future program. Please enjoy the video.
Seed for Future for me is like growing another better generations to improve the world into another level.
Right now, I'm looking forward to going into this program and learn and network and enjoy this amazing experience from Huawei.
Congratulations for your selections. You are the best here, okay?
In 18 days of the workshop, I will definitely be a new person and we get to learn, get to have new friends, and get good experience from this program.
Huawei gave us an awesome class about its goals for future, how it can solve many social problems, and how 5G it can bring.
So we have 16 different countries and we all have so much knowledge to share. So it's time for us to get connected, to share about idea and then solve the issue of the world, which is for us.
Firstly, I really want to thank the mentors because the feedbacks were really good. Because when we faced the questions, we could actually see from what inside the questions are coming from, and that the mentor could guide us properly.
We got a great team and great presentation prepared. We were able to successfully end the presentation.
We had our props, we had our prototypes in person, so we could physically show to the judge what we're talking about, and I think that could be an advantage for us. Let's hope everything goes well.
I guess we were really excited to share, our project to those cool people there, and we got a really good feedback. Their questions were really good, it really helped us to think more what kind of thing or gap that we need to fill in our project and what more we need to could be improved on our project overall.
We have shown our best. We can show our project to the best, and I think that we do our best together. So yeah, I'm really proud of myself and my team together.
This program is an investment to all the future seeds out there, and the return on investment isn't immediate. It's just a small thankful gesture from me to Huawei.
So we hope you enjoyed the video. And of course, with further ado, please allow me to invite Dr. Yang Miang, Executive Director of the ASEAN Foundation, to deliver the welcoming speech. Please welcome on the stage. Please give a big round of applause.
A very good afternoon to all of you. I'm very happy to see that this room is packed. So thank you for coming. So thank you for coming to Asia Pacific Digital Talent Summit. So without further ado, I would like to specially again thank you and welcome Mr. Simon Ling, President of Huawei Asia Pacific. And also, of course, all my bosses are here, so I have to behave. So I have Your Excellency Ambassador Yip Sam Nam, Permanent Representative of the Kingdom of Cambodia to ASEAN. Maybe, Ambassador, you can stand up and show your face. Yeah, it's very hard for my board to travel around, but they made it this time. So, of course, I would also like to introduce my board members, Your Excellency Ambassador Bovo Netat Donchak, Permanent Representative of the Lao People's Democratic Republic to ASEAN. And Your Excellency, Mr. Ekapap, who will be joining you later online, virtual, Deputy Secretary General of ASEAN for Socio-Cultural Community. Your Excellency, Mr. Trinak Tientong, Minister of Education of Thailand, Sawadika. And Your Excellency, Mr. Sok Putivuk, Secretary of State Minister of Posts and Telecommunication of Cambodia. Of course, Your Excellency, Professor Nizam, Director General of Higher Education, Research and Technology, Ministry of Education, Culture, Research and Technology of the Republic of Indonesia. So welcome on board. I think maybe still on the way or couldn't find the way. So honorable speakers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. So it is my pleasure to welcome all of you to ASEAN and Huawei Asia Pacific Digital Talent Summit 2022. So actually this morning we have a big launching at the main hall. And there are so many technology partners and very great application and usage of the new innovation that been displayed and showcased by Huawei. So thank you so much for all the support and for bringing the world to digital world. Thank you. So I'm honored and humbled to be able to meet and exchange knowledge with all of you here, like-minded people who are passionate and committed in advancing digital skill development in ASEAN and also Asia Pacific region. So the massive technological changes taking place in the last 2 years has become a catalyst for many people and organizations and also companies in Asia Pacific. So this is the time actually that most of us are put at test. You know, we are fearless because nothing can fear us more than death actually. So whoever is here today, well done to you, we survived the pandemic. So for that, I think the new technologies, the catalysts and exacerbations push us to our limit. So we humankind definitely has proven that we can survive any odds. So at the same time, so the rapid acceleration of digital transformation has also led to the widening of digital divide. There are pros and there are cons. But we have no choice, we have to move forward. So whatever gap and whatever digital divide, let us all put our thoughts together, stakeholders, government, and public-private partnerships is the crucial to move forward. So as more and more devices and systems are connected to the internet, it has become clear that people who are not equipped with the right digital skills will be denied the benefits and also opportunities of the digital transformation. So the latest Asia Pacific Digital Transformation Report 2022 from the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and Pacific identified 6 digital gaps prevalent in the society today. So what are the gaps? Access gap, digital gap, usage gap, capacity gap, participation gap, and outcome gap. So there are many gaps. There's not only one digital divide, one gaps. So there are many things that I believe, you know, with the people here, the brilliant mind here, we can definitely, you know, handle this and put in our innovative way to create a better path, you know, for our youth here. I think we have many youth today in this room, and you have seen that how inspiring and enthusiastic our young generation, waiting for opportunity and hungry for opportunity. So it is our job here as the stakeholders in ASEAN and also Asia Pacific and also with Huawei to really chart the path for them. So in ASEAN, the Organization for Cooperation and Economic also reported that labor markets in the region has a significant share of mismatched workers in qualification level. So, and also International Labour Organization mentions that skill mismatch occurs due to skills and labor shortages. So gaps between skilled individual and also available jobs that are available here. And also not sufficient skills to fulfill the needs of the industry demand. So for example, we have 10% and 15% of employers in Philippines, Indonesia, Laos PDR, and Malaysia, and also 18% in Cambodia report having difficulties finding workers with the right skill. So actually it is two-way. It's not only young people cannot find a job, but the company also couldn't find the right skilled people. So there is definitely a lot of work for us to do. This is just the beginning. And also the journey will be a long journey. So we have to create a more sustainable model. So in Thailand and Singapore itself, 37% and 43% of workers respectively are mismatched on their field of education. So in partnerships with Huawei, we organize ASEAN and Huawei Asia Pacific Digital Talent Summit 2022 to contribute to the efforts in resolving these gaps. So I think last year we did a virtual one. So I'm so glad that we have the opportunity. I never thought of having to see everyone again face to face so fast. You know, I thought maybe another 3-4 years, but well, wow, you know. So we are here. So this is actually through this summit, we will bring policymakers, researchers, and industry experts across the region to enhance consensus to tackle these difficulties and take ample actions to cultivate innovative talents and unleash digital transformation for ASEAN and Asia Pacific region. So I would try to cut my script, there's still a lot. So I would like to convey my appreciation. I would like to end my speech actually to Huawei for their commitment in building and nurturing an inclusive digital talent development ecosystem in Asia Pacific and particularly in ASEAN. So I hope our collaborations can inspire more meaningful public-private partnerships in the near future. And also whoever private here, please come forward and work with the government because we are always opening our door. We have our ambassadors here. You can even discuss with them how you can help their country. So we are really most welcome your ideas. So finally, I hope you have a productive and engaging discussion through ASEAN and Huawei Asia Pacific Digital Talent Summit 2022. So I wish you all a good day and enjoy yourself. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yang Mi, and for your opening speech. And of course, now it's my pleasure to welcome Mr. Jeff Wang, the President of Huawei Pacific Asia of Communications Department, to deliver welcoming speech virtually.
Your Excellency Duinuk, Minister of Education of Thailand. Your Excellency Ikaha Pantawum, Deputy Secretary General of ASEAN for Social Culture Community. Respected Dr. Yang Mi Ying, Executive Director of ASEAN Foundation. Honorable Ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. Welcome and thank you for joining the Asia Pacific Digital Talent Summit. I'm Jeff Wang, and it's my great pleasure to talk with you about the digital talent cultivation in Asia. At Huawei, we have seen digital transformation across the world and how the demand of digital talent rapidly grows. By 2030, Asia is even expected to experience a shortage of more than 47 million in the digital workforce. At the same time, we have also seen great passion and long-standing commitment to developing digital talent from many partners in government, industry, and academia. And so today, we are together to discuss how we can build a solid foundation for next generation talent and a stronger growth of the digital economy. I think we need to do two things to achieve these goals. First, we need to connect the unconnected and bridge the digital divide. Asia Pacific is the home to more than half of the world's population, and the digital infrastructure and the internet penetration have greatly improved over the past years. However, 40% of the population still has no internet access. For more than 20 years, Huawei has worked closely with government and industry partners to connect the unconnected, from remote islands in the Papua region of Indonesia to the village in southwest Pahang of Malaysia. Together, we have connected more than 90 million households and supported over 2.2 billion mobile connections. But just providing connection is not enough. We also need to help people to use them. So we think digital training and education is important. Programs like Huawei Tech for All initiative are critical in helping bridge the divide. Tech for All has already helped over 110,000 students, teachers, and unemployed people to learn digital skills and join the digital society. Our new digital bus that set up in Thailand is another good example. Over the next few months, this mobile classroom will travel across 10 provinces to provide free digital training, internet access, and smart device access to thousands of rural villagers. Second, we have to cultivate a new generation of digital professionals who will have the skills, expert knowledge, and R&D capabilities to drive digital transformation forward and shape the economy of tomorrow. In these areas, Huawei has already pledged to provide digital training for 500,000 people by 2026 in APAC, through programs like Seeds for the Future and Huawei ASEAN Academy. These programs are true examples of how government, industry, and academia can work to change the world. In Indonesia, for example, around 60,000 people have already benefited from these digital training programs. We are ahead of our schedule of training 100,000 Indonesia ICT talent by 2025. Seeds for the Future is for college students. It helps to cultivate future STEM students through ICT classes. Also, they can enjoy cultural exchanges with students coming from more than 130 countries and regions. The program currently operates in 18 APAC countries and regions. Huawei ASEAN Academy is designed to cultivate digital talent and enable digital transformation of local industries. So far, over 155,000 people have been trained. I'd like to mention that Huawei and ASEAN Foundation have recently deepened our partnership and begun working together at the Academy. Just last month, we and ASEAN Foundation co-held the largest ever Seeds for the Future event in Asia. The 9 days digital boot camp and competition brought together 120 outstanding students from 16 countries. Among them, students from Singapore and ASEAN won the first place for their amazing projects. Finally, the Spark program. This program aims to develop and coach startups. We help them to get new investment, technical support, and business mentorship. The Spark program has already helped 50 startups to receive over $50 million investments. Connecting people and building the next generation of talent is more important than ever. We all have a role to play, and we can make a big difference together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chia Wang, for the wonderful speech. And right now, I would like to allow me to invite Dr. Pichet Phongphakdi, Inspector General of the Ministry of Education of Thailand. And he is going to be on behalf of Her Excellency Ms. Trinut Thienthong, the Ministry of Education of Thailand, to deliver the opening speech as well. Please welcome on the stage.
Dr. Yang Mi-ing, Executive Director, ASEAN Foundation. Your speech was excellent. I like it very much. Mr. Simon Lin, President of Huawei, Asia Pacific, distinguished guests. Good afternoon. First of all, on behalf of the Minister of Education, who has urgent meeting, cannot join us today, I would like to thank Huawei and the ASEAN Foundation for co-organizing this Asia-Pacific Thailand Summit. I believe this event is critical to providing different stakeholders and policymakers an open platform for discussing new paths for Thailand development. Ministry of Education of Thailand has a vision of focusing on the development of learners and ICT talents with knowledge, morality, decent life quality, and happiness in society. In this process, digital skills and literacy are essential to the development of Thailand's education industry and strengthen the quality and education standards of all levels. We have acknowledged the effort of Huawei in establishing Huawei Academy Thailand to support Thailand in cultivating local digital talents nationwide and promote the Digital Bus project aiming to organize roadshows with the goal of enhancing digital skill and transferring digital knowledge for young people in our school, with more than 30,000 schools nationwide. The Ministry of Education and Huawei Thailand have worked together to promote Thailand's digital education competency. I'd like to thank Huawei Thailand for always supporting the development of digitalization and education transformation. I'm pleased to see that through the Huawei ASEAN Academy, the ICT talent ecosystem was built to support Thailand 4.0. This is working? Okay. I would like to tell all of you that during the time of COVID-19, the Thai Ministry of Education has continued to support students to learn remotely by adopting the platform that's suitable for the need of learners. Distance learning television, or DLTV, maybe some of you may know that, became an essential tool for the continuation of classroom. This project was introduced in 1995, endorsed by the royal aspiration of His Majesty King Bhumibol Adulyadej the Great, aiming to provide education benefits and equal opportunities to all Thai students nationwide. Recently, this year, last month, August 20, His Majesty King Mahawachiralongkorn, Wachiraklao Jöu Yu Hua, and Her Majesty Queen Suthida Pacharasutha Phimulrak granted audiences to the Ministry of Education to open the new distant learning television station at Wang Klai Kangwon School in Prachuap Khiri Khan Province. It means that Ministry of Education is supported by the King family because their distant learning foundation and distance learning television are under patronage to support students nationwide to learn together. I would like to emphasize that the impact of COVID-19 pandemic will be with us for some time. And there can be no single approach to deal with. Partnership in education would be the greatest solution to accomplish effective learning in the future. The Ministry of Education has working closely with partners for inclusive, equity, and high-quality education. Allow me to demonstrate some recent activities that have just recently concluded, such as the collaboration of 4 government agencies and 1 private sector to introduce the cyber peace of mind. I'll show you the picture. This project aiming to enhance digital literacy through education and improve cyber immunity for all levels of Thai citizens. Another project is the Border School Project, a collaboration effort between the Ministry of Education and CMO. CMO Secretariat to improve school facilities and generate a smart classroom in school to ensure quality learning opportunity for everyone. We start from now 2 provinces already in the border. We're going to work forward in the next year and another year to support students to learn, students in far remote area to learn. And next picture, that Ministry of Education work with partners. We promote welfare of teachers and educational personnel, such as the provision of smartphone application and SIM card. 13 companies work with us. 2 weeks ago, we signed MOU together. And one more thing, this morning, our Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Wisanu Khreungam, and Minister of Education, Ms. Trinut Thientong, attend the meeting to follow up the progress report of active learning transformation in education project in this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, in closing, I would like to express my appreciation to Huawei and the ASEAN Foundation for organizing the Asia Pacific Digital Talent Summit 2022. Thank you everyone for attending, and I wish you all an enjoyable and successful event. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Now we would like to proceed with our first special session, the pre-launch of the Thailand National Digital Talent Development White Paper on Thailand as the regional digital powerhouse. This white paper aims to provide insights into the whole cycle of talent analytics, development, and recommendations at government, industry, and academic levels. And here's our field initial findings to have full comprehensive of the relevant document. We invite you to check out its launch later in October. Right now, I would like to invite Dr. Pichet Pongpakdi, the Inspector General of Ministry of Education of Thailand, to be on the stage. Next, Dr. Yang Mi-ang, Executive Director of ASEAN Foundation. Next, Mr. Simon Lin, President of Huawei Asia Pacific. And next, Mr. Anusha Tassanawibun, Deputy Director, Computer Center of King Mongkut University of Technology, Thonburi. Assistant Professor Sanan Sakao, Head of Computer Engineering of King Mongkut University of Technology, Thonburi. And next, I would like to invite Assistant Professor Pongthep Suthirabut, Vice President for Planning and Public Policy of Prince Songkhla University. And next, Mr. Chanchai Thanat Khatakul, partner at the Roland Berger, to be on the stage. Okay, so right now, honorable guests, please put your hands on the screen together. Okay, just turn back and put your hands on the screen together in the circle. We are now going to pre-launch the white paper. Okay, let's take a photo together. And the Thailand National Digital Talent Development White Paper has been launched already. ขอเสียงปรบมือด้วยค่ะ Excellency, honorable guests, please kindly remain on the stage for the photo session. Oh, sorry, please kindly remain on. Yeah, let's take a photo together first. So we will have another photo session together, okay? Thank you very much for opening the launch for today. Okay, next, let's hear the opening speech of His Excellency Ekapha Phantawong, Deputy Secretary General of ASEAN for Socio-Cultural Community virtually.
Excellency Trinath Chientong, Minister of Education of Thailand. Excellency Mohibun Hassan Choudhury, Deputy Minister of Education of Bangladesh. Dr. Yang Mi-eun, Executive Director of the ASEAN Foundation. Mr. Simon Lin, President of Huawei, the Asia Pacific. Colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is my pleasure to address you at the opening of the Asia Pacific ICT Talent Summit 2022, hosted by the ASEAN Foundation and Huawei. This initiative, which aims to provide an opportunity for policymakers, governments, experts, and other stakeholders to exchange views on the issues of the ICT talents in ASEAN, is immensely relevant to the digital world that rapidly becomes our reality. I believe we can unanimously accept the fact that one of the most obvious signs of the post-COVID-19 world is the infusion of data that enabled services into more aspects of life, if not all. Nowadays, in every direction that we look at, there is a digital element to it. More and more the digital services offered at the business outset, making the digital skills essential to every youth of ASEAN. However, contrary to popular belief, digital skills is less about the technology, but more about the people. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, ASEAN leaders have rightfully magnified this message by highlighting the digital society as the first vision of the ASEAN Digital Master Plan to 2025. It is strategic for ASEAN to anticipate the digital transformation of our region by evaluating our people's ability to adapt to the digitalized future. I am convinced that ASEAN Youth's ability to adapt depends heavily on our concerted efforts in developing their digital skills, with the end in mind of closing the gap between the ICT talents, the supply and demand. This Digital Talent Summit is certainly integral to aforementioned efforts. Discussions on how we can cultivate innovative ICT talents in the region is vital to identify our current states of the digital literacy, adverse inequalities, and thus determine the relevant step forward. I believe that this summit, which gathers policymakers, governments, and industry practitioners, is the perfect avenue to explore the meaningful collaboration in that regard. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, indeed, it was a challenge to bridge the gap in strengthening the digital transformation in the region, to empower our youth with the skills and the competencies to make them resilient and future-ready. The 2020 ASEAN UNICEF High-Level Conference on Digital Transformation of Education Systems discussed and highlighted the role of technology and the growing urgency to promote not only digital literacy but also transversal skills across ASEAN. Elevating the ASEAN youth's digital capability and therefore their future employability calls for the collective undertaking. In our respective line of work, we must find an avenue to broaden the ASEAN's digital talent base by creating the workforce upskilling the programs. From where I'm sitting in the ASEAN social cultural community, we are guided by the ASEAN Work Plan on Youth 2021 to 2025, which states that the ASEAN youth sector will strengthen the collaboration with partners through the capacity development projects for the ASEAN youth to address the development issues through the social and technological innovations. Excellencies, distinguished participants, this initiative, which brings together the ASEAN governments and the policymakers, think tank organizations, and academia across the region, as well as experts from Hawaii, is highly beneficial for us. I believe it will bring about interesting findings and views, and hopefully tangible solutions for our future generation. I wish the summit a great success. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. And right now, we are moving to our keynote speech, which will provide with their insightful knowledge from the perspective of the government officials, academia, and private sector. Please welcome our first speaker, His Excellency, Mr. Sok Puttiwut, Secretary of State, Ministry of Ports and Telecommunications of Cambodia, to deliver his keynote speech on the stage. Please welcome.
There's some changes, so make sure that I get the name correctly. So His Excellency Ikapap Pantavong, Deputy Secretary General of ASEAN, Mr. Simon Lin, President of Huawei Asia Pacific, Mr. Jeff Wang, President of Public Affairs and Communication Department, Dr. Yang Min Ying, Executive Director of ASEAN Foundation, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this opportunity to thank ASEAN Foundation, Huawei, and the government of Thailand for hosting Asia Pacific Digital Summit 2022 in Bangkok. The theme of this event is timely, as all countries in the region are looking to jumpstart the post-pandemic recovery through digital technology. COVID-19 has made digital transformation a necessity, as it plays an important role in facilitating the work of the state, businesses, education, and communication in our daily life. The pandemic has made it ever clearer the need for a well-connected infrastructure, digital talent to minimize the negative economic impact caused by the pandemic or any other foreseen event in the future. Cambodia is committed to digital transformations, and we have set up a National Council for Digital Economy and Society, chaired by our Samdech Prime Minister Hun Sen. And we have set up 3 committees, Digital Government Committee, Digital Economy and Society Committee, and Digital Security Committee as a coordinating body. The Royal Government of Cambodia has also adopted the Digital Economy and Society Policy Framework for 2021 to 2035, and a Digital Government Policy for 2022 to 2035, which together form an important component of the post-pandemic recovery and digital transformation for Cambodia. The policy framework prioritizes building digital infrastructure, enhance digital skills, attracting domestic and foreign investment, promoting new business ventures, and increasing productivity. Digital talent development is one of the important goals to advance digital economy and society, which lays down 3 strategies: developing human resource, both public and private sector, paving the way for digital adoptions and transformation; training our citizens with digital skills to fill with the needs of the current and future job market; promoting digital citizen with digital knowledge, literacy, and utilizing potential of digital technology in their daily life effectively and safely. Recently, Cambodia has made noticeable progress in promoting digital adoption. We can see that technology like digital payment, e-commerce, ride, food apps are becoming the norm and spreading across the country with more rooms for growth. And more importantly, Cambodia government has increased its focus on STEM education into school curriculum, leveraging online platform, and planning to establish community tech center at high school level. As for those already in the labor force, Cambodia has worked with vocational training school and developing partners to provide digital skill training for those looking to upgrade skills, set and prepare for careers in the high demand tech job in the market. Furthermore, the Ministry of Posts and Telecommunication has implemented various actions in order to promote development in digital talent. We have established Cambodian Academy for Digital Technology, which help enhance the training and digital talent, called CADT, and has a mission to nurture digital talent, innovators, as well as promoting national research and innovation on innovation ecosystem. Establish Dekcho Digital Talent Scholarship, which provides scholarships benefits to outstanding students, including tuition fee and school materials for outstanding students. Establishing Digital Innovation Center to promote entrepreneurship, digital startups, digital adoptions of enterprise, and national innovation. Cambodian government has adopted and implemented sub-decree Digital Startup Promotion, which is a concrete framework and programs to provide startups support through training, monitoring, and other technical support. Furthermore, we also pilot online learning platform to promote blended learning concept and a new educational tool for teachers and students. We hope to connect to all the schools across the country in the coming future. it is apparent that whatever digital transformation that all of us embark on, it will require good, capable people to help support and implement things on the ground. We need a better way to educate our people, to learn and adapt quickly to the growing digital world. Also, not just with digital skills and technology, but also with visions of what new digital society should be. And whatever the future of developing model will be, it has to be resilient, sustainable, with strong foundation in peace and stability, and that it will help solve our current and future challenges, whether it's pandemic, climate change, etc., to protect and nurture our next and future generations. Also, I'd like to take this opportunity to reiterate that the Ministry of Post and Telecommunication of Cambodia is ready to join countries and developing partners, private sectors, academia, and other stakeholders, both bilateral and multilateral, to build robust digital talent ecosystem in the region in order to speed up the post-COVID recovery, digital economy development, and we're also planning roundtable discussions in November as chair of ASEAN this year, and we hope to see some of you in Phnom Penh. And once again, I'd like to congratulate Thailand and Huawei for hosting this event and great achievement on Asia Pacific Digital Talent Summit 2022. And thank you very much, and I hope to see you in Cambodia. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. So next, let's hear the keynote speech from His Excellency Professor Nizam, Director General of Higher Education, Research and Technology, Ministry of Education, Culture, Research and Technology of the Republic of Indonesia through this video.
Excellencies, Ministers, Deputy Ministers, Secretary, and dignitaries, distinguished professors, guests, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon. First of all, I would like to congratulate and appreciate Huawei for having this Asia Pacific Digital Talent Summit 2022. I'm honored to be invited to give a brief remarks this afternoon. Today and tomorrow's world is going digital. The transformations of our world and society into digital has been happening in the past couple of decades, and it is accelerated by the COVID-19 pandemics in the last 2-3 years. These rapid and massive transformations of our life into digital era often is not concurrently followed by the preparedness of our society with the new technology. Digital users often are not necessarily digitally literate, and many who are digitally literate are not always digitally ethical. Hoaxes and digital bullying are now becoming an issue in our educations and our society. Hackers, perpetrators of cybercrime, deepfake are just to mention some of the threats we are all facing today. However, there are a lot more benefits of digital technology and digital world than there are threats. The negative impact of digital transformations need to be addressed to make the digital world a better and safer place for all, while the benefits of digital transformations need to be accelerated and strengthened. Developing digital literacy since early age through education is a must for our children. Even though they are digitally native, yet making sure that they learn and use digital technology at the right age and the right dose is very important. We also need to develop talent pools in digital technology to make sure that there is no country left behind in these mega transformations. Indonesia is striving to develop the digital technology infrastructures and more importantly, in developing our human capital with the needed competencies of the 21st century, including, of course, digital literacy. We want to make sure that our kids are digitally literate and not only to become tech users, technological users, but also to become part of the technology creator. That is perhaps one of the reasons why our president chose Mr. Nadiem Makarim, former CEO of successful tech startup in Indonesia, as the Minister of Education, Culture, Research and Technology of Indonesia. Many transformations have been taking place through Merdeka Belajar policy, transforming our education system to be more digitally ready and developing a talent pool of digital technology through Campus Merdeka program. Hundreds of thousands of our university students have joined the Campus Merdeka program through many off-campus activities, off-campus immersive activities, including micro-credentials and digital technology. That's why in the past 2 years, not less than 200,000 students have graduated with additional competencies, especially digital competencies like machine learning, deep learning, big data analytics, cybersecurity, and many other relevant digital competencies. Most of the Campus Merdeka program are jointly developed and run with the industry and global technological players such as Huawei, Microsoft, Google, NVIDIA, AWS, just to name a few. This is what we call the gotong royong spirit. It is very Indonesian term. Working together, which means working together to achieve the common goals. Thank you very much once again for the invitations. I wish this summit will bring us stronger collaborations. With the spirit of gotong royong, I believe we can recover together, recover stronger from the COVID-19 pandemics, and together we build a better future for all. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
So thank you very much, Professor Nizam, for your insightful sharing. Unfortunately, he couldn't join us today. That's why he sent us the video. And of course, he wishes to be here. And thank you so much for coming. And of course, now I'm pleased to invite Professor Guariker, Vice President, Research and Development of Hong Kong Baptist University, to deliver his keynote speech. Please welcome on the stage. Thank you.
Hello. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I probably have a different flavor, and I will talk more about machine creativity, AI. In the next few minutes, I'm not going to be a university administrator. I will be acting as a scientist. All right. Slightly different. So I'm talking about machine creativity. We heard a lot of things about AI. And purpose of AI is simple: build a human-like machine, right? So make the machine can think, can look, can hear, can talk, right? It's all done. But now, next thing we think about it, we want the machine can create. That's a pretty hard job, right? And I hope the machine with the creativity can help people to cultivate talents, which is exactly this summit all about. So the art is the one of the skill which we human have, which is expressing our creativity, is actually representing our humanity. So AI is unique, art is unique to human. To make a machine can do the art creation is obviously the biggest challenge to the AI. So these are pictures which illustrate the milestone of AI challenge and art on the top of the whole of all this, the challenge journey. We already did it very well. We can make a machine now, can play the chess, and it can do the negotiation. Machine can even now have the right to do invention, to do the fiction writing, but to do the art is really a challenge. United Nations, actually the World Economic Forum, actually defined a milestone for the years. And basically they're talking about by the end of the 2030, machine can coding, machine can write on essay, it's actually quite serious, and the machine can actually do the poker. And in fact, we are pretty much there, right? We still have 7 years to go. But now, after this, we will do machine can generate sound, machine can generate video. This is exactly what I'm talking about. So we are ahead of time. And of course, the further down the road, the machine can write the novels, and the machine can actually do the mathematician competition. So you have to be very careful. In the not too long future, machine will be acting very much like a very talented human, okay? Now we're talking about artists now. There are two types of the artists one machine can make. And so far we have two categories. I don't want to go detail, right? Roughly two categories. One category is called the Turing artist. Basically, they mimic human, right? We see already a lot of the artwork created by machine, but really make the humans' creativity. And the second level, which is a higher level now, which we are targeting to, is the machine it has its own creativity. Okay, that's even higher, not just mimic a machine. Let's recall what we're doing now. Today, so we have Turing artists. We can do very well on mimic human. From the mathematics point of view, from our AI point of view, the technology is not that difficult. You just need a very big data. Well, with the very big data here, you can generate a feature space. Basically, understanding, for example, what is a really human looks like. And you can take enough humans' pictures, a machine can learn what kind of features a human can possess. And then now you can sample from the feature space, can create a photo. So that's actually quite straightforward. And this is our state of art. First of all, we can generate artifacts, which are generative systems, which exactly copy the human's work. Photo generation is one of them. So this is what now machine can generate the photographs. It's really a real and a very accurate. And then we can do more, not just to create mimic humans a real artwork. You can learn the style. Now you can do appreciative systems. You can transform one style to the others. You can take a Chinese painting, translate it into oil painting, because you know the features of oil painting. You can transform my painting style into Van Gogh's. So this all can be done. And the third one is even more, you mimic the inspirations. That's called artistic system. That's really a talented job. So this is the two pictures. One is by the Rembrandt, the other one is machine-made. You can hardly tell which is machine-made, what is the real made. But this is not copying, because they create from scratch paintings which has learned the style of artist, but now doing it. All this work actually are very much based on the idea of what you can call the human intelligence is a human can repeat, or machine intelligence is a machine can repeat a human, right? But on the art creativity, this restriction is not enough. So we actually want machine to create something beyond the human, right? If machine have the intelligence like all we have, machine should be able to create something which is beyond our human ability. So this is something we are now pursuing, right? So this is a big challenge to the AI. So in the current stage, also called AI, it's a little more technical terms, end-to-end. Basically means you give the machine build a model, and then that machine, human should not interfere, right? Machine will learn everything by themselves without human involvement. But in order to make a machine to the artist, the very important thing is the machine have to communicate with human. Why? Because artwork only makes sense if it's appreciated by the human. It has aesthetic value. How machine can understand human enjoy or not enjoy, you need to communicate with human. So therefore, this is a complete change the AI, actually, the paradigm. So AI now, what we are developing here now, is a communicating system. Machine have to understand human, human have to understand the machine. So machine learning is really become we teach kids. So this is actually now very much related to this summit. We're all about education. You're not only education kids, you're now education machine. That's quite interesting. So this is what we are building now. And this is not only us, the whole world of AI people now working very hard on that to build a so-called a creative machine. So the idea is simple, right? In machine create artwork, you have some expectation for human to enjoy it. You know, all the thing about art is empathy, right? You want the machine creator or human creators, artwork creator, understand by the appreciator, right? So this is empathy. So therefore, you have the expectation here. And also, now we have all the system here to actually detecting from the audience, from appreciator point of view, is that expectation met or not? Or another word, is the people enjoy this artwork or not? You can measure it. Then you can actually compare this measurement. If your expectation is confirmed by the audience, which means people like your work, then machine will get a reward to enhance its value of the aesthetic value. Otherwise, human need an interpreter. Why machine created? To communicate with the human, to change the logic. So this is the whole process, right? Right, now we are working very hard on this, and in the Hong Kong Baptist University, now I moved to the Hong Kong Science and Technology University. We have a big project, which is funded by the Hong Kong government, 60 million Hong Kong dollars, which is actually one of the largest art tech fundings, even from China scale. So, and we're working with Huawei, and on this very interesting research project, we use Huawei's center machine, and powered by the ASEAN, right? Chinese called the Shenzhen ASEAN, the machine, and also by the big model, Pangu big model. So what we're doing here now is we learn how to build our work. Our first success is now demonstrated in Hong Kong's 25th anniversary of Hong Kong return to China. So we presented the first AI choir. So this is now performed in Hong Kong City Hall. So this is what it looks like this. So we actually generate a choir of a song of the Pier of Orient. Look at this. Conductors wear actually the sensor, and all those moving videos, all the choir, all machine made, or machine song, not human. Okay, so this is show you how we actually do the work. Okay, right. Going into detail is what we did. All right? I don't want to go technical talk, but give you a little flavor. The first what we do is we use a huge big data, right? The Huawei Pangu is available. It's a very big model. And we talk of humans' voice. We learn we capture all the human voice feature. So now, if you say 3 hours, I can learn a voice model of you. So this is me, right?
Human. So that's what we talk about projections, we talk about sensors.
This is my voice.
And on the other hand, we also talking about...
Okay, after the model learn about my voice can sing. This is my voice.
Yes,
the very good thing is that they even capture my Shanghainese accent, and out of the tune also captured. Right? They never heard my song before, right? Okay, this is what we did, right? So you give me your 3 hours voice, I generate a voice model for you, right? And of course, you can turn a singer to sing other song very easily. Okay? So second one, what we do is we conductor. We use the actually motion capture to make the conductors, all his movements be aware by the machine, right? So machine now can actually understand the reason, understand what the conductor do. So therefore, human machine can put together, all right? Okay. Look, stop it, huh? Or follow the instruction, right? Okay. And then the most interesting thing is we build upon the Huawei's Pangu system of huge storytelling. So basically, machine generated video. So the input to this machine is the lyrics of this song. And what it generated is all these moving pictures. And the moving pictures actually talk in the words, understand the words, and understand the background of the words, and create the video itself. So for the Xiaohe one, right, the streams meanders to the south in the river, and the pier of the east over the night. Look at this, is the water-like, is actually a mimic the pier, right? And Hong Kong was projected inside. This is amazing generate. This is way, way beyond human can do. Actually, now this is all the pictures here, right? And what we're doing here now, of course, I said, machine have to communicate with human. Machine's not that clever, but you have to right here, all the instructions, your understanding of things, tell the machine, okay? So, and then what we're doing here now is we transform the emotion through the conductors. So conductors move captured and cover the moving pictures generation as well as the sound. Okay. And the machine artist, the machine can create all these pictures to decode the feelings, decode the pictures, decode what we tell them, right? For example, I show you in the final. This is the cloud, the butterfly, and many butterflies. And the last song we perform is about the lover song. On the wing of the music is the Mandar Song's favorite song. And you can see, they understand that this is a lover song. So all the cloud shape is hot. It's amazing. It's a machine created. I don't think human can think about that. So this is what the machine did. Right, so we created this great artwork. We only have 8 months into the project. So we established the Turing AI orchestra. It's a really orchestra. So our research is all driven by the performance. So we were this world's first human-machine symbiotic orchestra, and we put this one on the Huawei machine as an AI coding platforms. So the whole world artists can use it to generate artwork, particularly symphony. Right? And I think it's very interesting for the talent cultivation. In the future, as I said, that all the gaps, 6 gaps, but very important in gaps is the transdisciplinary gap. So now artists have become AI aware, and also vice versa. We have to learn a lot of art. The whole work we are doing here now make every individual can be a pretty good artist. So this is a new field of the digital humanity. So a lot of skill you need to relearn, and the future will be very different from now. So this is what we are doing here. And finally, spare me 2 minutes. I'll show you the song we generated a few days ago. Actually, this is also performed in Hong Kong. This is the Mandar songs well sung on the wing of light. The whole performance, choir, and the pictures all generated by the machine. And I can see, a lot of the wonderful pictures be generated. Like this. And also, I show a couple of very good catch. This is all human. This is not human, all machine. In applause. Machine generated. Do you remember which voice? Who's this one? This person died in 1966 with a Collins voice. This is the beyond the human. The frequency is not human can have. It's a further sound. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor, for your insightful keynote speech and, of course, a wonderful presentation. And next, let's hear the keynote speech of Professor Hitoshi Yamada, Professor Emeritus and former Vice President of Yokohama National University. Please welcome on the stage.
Thank you for nice introduction. Actually, frankly speaking, it's very difficult to start my talk after very impressive music. And my talk is also a little bit different. And Dr. Yan Mi-en said, this room is packed with people, right? But when I look at backward, there's some vacant seats. So I'm a little bit disappointed, but anyway, probably all the people here will forget about my talk for next several slides. But please remember, few people in this room has a very high passion or very high temperature. Temperature is not body temperature. If you have high body temperature, you should go to hospital. Anyway, everybody in this room has very interest in development of a talent of ICT, and I believe that will be a really very nice seeds for the future. Anyway, I'll start. Oh, this one. This is my profile. And look at the top. Actually, this is really digital. You can use it. And I worked for international collaboration with various universities for more than 10 years. But after 10 years, I go back to university, and I made retirement the year before 2020. Therefore, my talk is a little old-fashioned. Probably, I do not can explain current Japanese situation. But during my job, there is some problem about the international collaboration or exchange of students. My talk is exchange of students, but there is a two group of students who want to go abroad to study. The first group is one student get the status, student status at foreign universities. The second group is they want to keep student status in local country and then go abroad. My talk is latter case. Therefore, if you're interested in the former case, probably situation is completely different. Anyway, in case of Japan, number of people who want to go abroad will be decreasing quickly. Therefore, many persons want to solve it, but it's very difficult. And probably everybody think there's many barriers. First one was financial. Second one will be a problem of academic calendar. In my feeling, problem of academic calendar will be very large. But another one is they do not interested in go or foreign countries because we have, say, Facebook or very dense information about foreign countries. Therefore, I think they are satisfied with that kind of information. But you saw my picture on the top, on previous slide, but I made actually, my colleague made that the picture almost 10 years ago, or 15 years ago. And I continue to use it these 15 years. Just the digital. Therefore, another point of digital is do not change. My recommendation that you should check every information by your eye. That will be a very nice motivation to go or to do something. Anyway, probably I have shortened my presentation. We are back to schedule, right? We are behind schedule. This is the intention of my generation. I was a student almost 50 years ago, almost half century years ago. At that time, many students want to go United States. I'm not sure it is Chicago or not, but anyway, many people want to go United States or European countries. And recently, some people want to go, say, China or Korea, etc. Therefore, in this meaning, interest is widened. Anyway, the reason why we want to go is to get stimulus knowledge or knowledge of advanced technologies, etc. But nowadays, social situation become mature. Therefore, say, technological level in China, United States, or other country has almost same. Of course, Huawei, we advanced. This is because this is sponsor of this one. Anyway, what's that? I find 30 minutes. Anyway, in my generation, we want to go abroad to learn many new things. But nowadays, my young people are satisfied with the current situation, and they lose motivation to go abroad to learn many things. Anyway, regarding flow of people, there's two ways, inbound and outbound. And in case of the outbound, Japanese government is eager to get foreign student because we are losing population quickly. I can show you some decay of the people. Next slide. And in case of inbound, there's almost no problem. Therefore, but my talk, which I said problem, is outbound student. Probably, even 50 years ago, there are almost no students from United States or European countries to Japan. Therefore, same situations occurs at various countries. This is a graph of the change of population. Compared with several years ago, we are losing many people for 18 years old. Therefore, when we look at the many universities population at various places, many people come to Tokyo, centralized Tokyo, say, in case of Cambodia, maybe many persons want to come to Phnom Penh. But here, many persons will be Bangkok. Therefore, from the view of government, every university at various places is very important, but local university has problems to get the students. That's the reason why they want to encourage the, to obtain the foreign people at various places. Anyway, healthy idea to get the student is very important. And I guess this is very difficult to see. Okay. What? No, okay, thank you. Actually, we have many countermeasures to obtain the student. First one is we focus on the obtain the students from developing countries, including Cambodia. Unfortunately, we do not have students in Cambodia so far. Anyway, we have students from Thailand or Vietnam, Myanmar, etc. Therefore, in this meeting, we are very successful. And another one is fitness of mind. Everybody can understand culture gap. Therefore, young people, even young people, understand there's a gap in culture. So after culture gap, they have mental problem. And therefore, we place Japanese mothers. They call Japanese mothers for mental care. And another one is a scholarship program. Recently, someone said, there's a gap in money, financial gap, I mean. But recently, many countries become rich. Therefore, scholarship program like a Monbusho special program is not so important for all of countries, not all of countries. But in some countries, there's a scholarships. But we have two kinds of Monbusho scholarship programs. First one, the general one. Second one is IC talent. Therefore, even the Monbusho, Japanese government, is looking at the development of ICT people. Anyway, this is one of the results of my university, Yokohama National University's situation of foreign student. And for future collaboration, probably many persons visit the exhibition of Huawei, of the exhibition room. Probably all of you noticed there is one very nice exhibitions on autonomous driving, excaving, or recovery of disasters are very important in civil engineering field. Therefore, we civil engineers is far from a digital, very analog situation, but even civil engineers, we have to ask the education of the talent, ICT. Therefore, in short, important point is make very healthy incentives to start their career or they start education in foreign countries. And sometimes international information is biased. Therefore, as I said, people should check their reliability by their eyes. That's another point. And another very important point is this one, MOOCs. MOOCs is a very popular program on internet. But if MOOCs is perfect, probably all of university except MIT or Caltech or Harvard or Cambridge will disappear because many persons can access to MOOCs. There's no need to come to Yokohama National University. But in my feeling, another important point is this room. Probably we had a very nice speech via video. They do not understand the ego of this room, passion of these rooms. Therefore, face-to-face discussions and share the atmosphere like this room is very important. In this meaning, this seeds for future will be a very nice chance. Therefore, I appreciate the Huawei's activations. But combination of this one, or MOOCs, and existing universities will be much more important. Therefore, I ask Huawei or other people, the collaboration is very important. Therefore, I'd like to say, you can forget my talk, but remember the passion of this room, and remember the importance to share this kind of atmosphere, and then collaboration is very important. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor. And finally, please welcome Mr. Simon Lin, the President of Huawei Asia Pacific, to deliver his keynote speech on the stage. Please welcome.
Okay, thank you. Distinguished government excellencies, industry and academia guests, good afternoon. Thank you, and all the friends here. Actually, it's very challenging for me also to give a speech after professors and scientists. Thank you, thank you. First, no, okay, give me. First, I want to thank our great partner and good friend, Dr. Yang, and also ASEAN Foundation. In 2021, we co-organized the first Asia Pacific Digital Talent Summit to bridge the digital talent gap. During that event, we announced to invest $50 million to training 500,000 digital talent in 5 years. Looking back, I'm very grateful we made that first step together. Actually, talent development is a broad topic. It requires long-term and systematic efforts of everyone in this room. And also, meanwhile, I think it's an important topic. For the society, it is the key to unleash social energy. For ICT industry, it relies heavily on knowledge. For individuals, digital skill not only means more opportunity, it also means stronger ability to change the world. Therefore, in the ASEAN Digital Master Plan 2025, ASEAN hopes to become a leading digital community powered by digital service, technology, and the ecosystem. A key action is to improve people's skill and literacy. When we take a broader look at the picture in Asia Pacific from the keynotes, we are happy to say almost all the countries are empowering people's skill, especially for younger people, to boost the digital economy. For Huawei, as a trusted ICT company, we believe digital and sustainable Asia Pacific must have an open digital talent ecosystem. All our talent development initiative is focused on 3 main areas: leadership, skill, and knowledge. For government officials, industry executives, we have a dedicated business school in Huawei ASEAN Academy. It provides leadership training on latest technology and industry trend. Through Huawei ASEAN Academy in Malaysia, Indonesia, and Thailand, we have trained 17,000 local officials. And in Thailand, our business school is conducting a national-level digital talent white paper to support talent level up its ICT leadership. For the upskilling and reskilling practitioners, Huawei ASEAN Academy have a technical and engineer school. Through platform of ICT competition and certification, we already trained 120,000 people. And also, this certificate help people become more competitive in the labor market. And also for the younger talent, especially university students, we have a series of programs to promote knowledge transfer. For example, in Huawei Seat for the Future project mentioned by several speakers, many students enhance their knowledge in innovative technology. This year, the winning team from Singapore proposed to use cloud and data analytics to fight food waste. Meanwhile, Huawei ICT Academy expand our cooperation with more than 300 universities, covering 50,000 students. In Thailand, we partnered with 35 leading universities. Based on this ecosystem, we plan to launch an updated ICT competition to benefit more students. As a technology company, we believe the foundation of all digital initiative is innovation and value creation. So we will keep closing the digital divide and leaving no one behind. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for attending Huawei Connect, and thank you for your special support for this Digital Talent Summit. Just as all speakers mentioned, talent development is a long-term and collaborative process. In this spirit, I want to quote the Chinese educational classical to end my speech. So road ahead is difficult. We only can achieve our goals with constant effort. We must press ahead for a promising future. So thank you. Let's build a fully connected and intelligent Asia Pacific. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Simon Lin, for your wonderful keynote speech. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, for the next 20 minutes, we are having the panel discussion, which involves experts, academia, and youth representatives that will provide you with insightful knowledge on the topic of digital transformation in a post-pandemic era, improving digital inclusion for a post-pandemic recovery. So first, let us welcome our moderator. Please welcome on the stage, Miss ตะพิภูพุ่มแก้วกล้าขอเรียนเชิญด้วยค่ะ
ขอบคุณครับ ขอบคุณครับ Thank you very much indeed.
And next, I would like to invite our panelists on the stage as the following names. So, I would like to call Professor Guo Song, full professor in Department of Computing of Hong Kong Polytechnic University. Please welcome. And next, Miss Michelle Wucker, the famous author of The Grey Rhino and policy analyst. Please welcome on the stage. And next, Miss Iona Dominic, the leader of the winning team of Asia Pacific Seats of the Future 2022. Please welcome. And now, the floor is yours, our moderator.
Thank you very much. You're very kind. And finally, you want me to move here? Fine. Well, thank you very much indeed, and good evening, everyone, Your Excellency, all the distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Shall we sit? Okay. Due to our time is very concise, and we are exceeding our time already, so I'll make it quick and make it like very conclusive. Is it okay? Are you hungry? Some said hungry already. Okay, we are going to talk about how to improve the digital inclusive in the post-pandemic era. So you all need more introductions from now because she's famous. He's very talented. and she's very interesting. Okay, I'll do the introduction again. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome and give a big round of applause to Professor Guo Song from Hong Kong Polytechnic University. He is a fellow of Canadian Academy of Engineering, specialized in research interests, including machine learning, artificial intelligence, computing, and so on. He's very talented. And for the next one, the ladies who sits beside me, she's famous. President Xi Jinping loves her books, I would say that. Please welcome Miss Michelle Walker. She is a best-selling author of The Grey Rhino and You Are What You Risk, also a strategic advisor and policy analyst specializing in the world economic and crisis anticipation and risk management. Is that so?
It is.
Big cloud applause, please. And the last one, the youngest on stage, I assume. Iona Dominic. She is an inspiring young woman who's keen in promoting gender equality in tech industry. With an inclination towards mathematics, data analytics, and business development, Iona decided to channel her passion by participating for the Asia Pacific Seas for the Future Program 2022. Together with her colleagues, the team proposed Endeavor. Endeavor is an inclusively designed third-party job platform that aims to assist persons with disability in securing a formal job. Wow. Endeavor was chosen as one of the regional Tech for Good competition winners, and we had the chance to directly secure a spot at the Global Tech for Good competition. Big round of applause again. Shall we start now? Shall we? Okay, we have like 15 minutes left because it takes like 5 minutes for your introductions. Okay, the first questions go to you all, okay? Well, in accordance with the research of digital use during the COVID-19, how you guys foresee the digital transformation in a post-pandemic recovery era? So start with you, Professor.
Yeah, first of all, thank you, Huawei, for organizing this session. I'm very honored to be invited and share my views on the topic of digital inclusion, right? Actually, after the post-COVID-19 era, people see the challenges and also see the opportunities. And for example, in the business, everything could be online. And for the universities, we have new curriculums on AI for all students. And because in this way, the digital transformation will be happening, and we accumulated a lot of experiences in the area, and later on, I will give more examples on that to show the challenges and also the promising directions. Thank you.
It will be more and more after the pandemic, after the accelerating, I mean, the way they learn from the digital era, it will be speeding up.
No. Actually, there's accumulates a lot of opportunities, and I will see there is a plot on the digital transformation process.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Michelle, how about you?
Yes, well, it's really great to see the enthusiasm here, and we've heard a lot of the challenges today that we've got to deal with, digital literacy, access, education in particular, needs for changes in education, new human and machine interaction. And these are all the kind of things that I call gray rhinos, the big obvious thing that's coming right at you and gives you a challenge. What are you going to do? Are you just going to stand still or deal with it or not? And we've done a great job today in outlining some of the specifics of the gray rhino of digital transformation. It was actually a crash of many other specific gray rhinos, which are different for everyone in this room, for students, for young people in terms of their own education, for businesses in terms of the products they're going to make, the people they're going to employ, how they're going to do their operations, and for government and policymakers as well. How do they facilitate the atmosphere that helps everyone to come together to deal with this gray rhino of digital transformation, which involves, as you said, both obstacles and opportunities. You can see the rhino as the big scary thing coming at you. You can stand still and get trampled, or you can take its strength and harness it and use it to help pull everyone forward. And the sense of urgency is important, and I think that that's one of the silver linings of COVID-19, and we really need to look for silver linings. And that's that it really helped to create this sense of urgency to deal with it. It's sped us up, which is a good thing.
According to your expressions, it means that the good gray rhinos is a good side more than the bad things.
Well, every gray rhino is good and bad, actually. It's like the people who recognize them and address the problem have an advantage over the people who don't. And often, if you look at a venture capitalist, the first question they ask you in the pitch deck is, what's the problem you're solving for?
Okay.
And that's where innovation comes from. That's where businesses come from. That's where inspiration comes from.
Okay, thanks. Thank you for your answer. How about you, Iona?
All right, first of all, I would like to thank Huawei and the Asian Foundation for this opportunity that youth like me can sound their voices and opinions to the current Digital Talent Summit 2022. Woohoo! All right, relating to the question, well, I do agree and can relate with some of the speakers mentioned here earlier. I think as a youth, I saw like, this is really happening. Technology can be a double-edged sword. First of all, it brings a lot of efficiency. It brings automation to businesses. But at the same time, I've watched how people become unemployed. People lose their jobs. But it is actually an opportunity. We shouldn't see it in a negative way. If we stuck in that point of view, we won't be able, as a human, modern people, we can't move on. Well, it's really important to keep this thing, we see this thing as an opportunity for us. How do we apply digital inclusion in global transformation? And furthermore, I really agree on what you said. We have no other choices. Do we want to face it, or do we just want to get trembled and sit down? Well, the answer is, as a youth representing Asian youth, the answer is we don't want to sit down. We want to be included in this global transformation. And yes, digital inclusivity and digitalization is something that is inevitable. And I think it is something that all of us in this room should be working on. Thank you.
Yeah, I told you she's good. Yeah, and one day she's going to be rich and famous just like her. Okay, I would love to ask her more, but due to our time, it's very short, so I'll go to the second questions. And it's point to you, Ms. Michelle. What do you think are the practical acts to boost youth participation in public policy making to support digital inclusion?
It's such a great question,
yeah.
and I look at the room here, and we're taking a step in that direction already. But looking at the different generations in this room, those of older generations probably can think of at least one time in your life where you've turned to the younger generations for help adapting to a particular technology. And it's kind of something to joke about, but it's a really great argument for bringing younger people into the conversations and understanding what they're hoping for. And I think also younger generations have a very, very different idea about the world, the sense of the urgency of dealing with things, whether it's technology for dealing with climate change, for helping to solve problems, as we saw even for creativity. And so that perspective is so important. And it also is important to look at education. I mean, you've heard so many students complain that they don't get a say in how they're educated. I think we need to start there. Education with both the skills that people need for jobs, for this human-machine interaction, for digital literacy so people can identify deep fakes and misinformation and evaluate things properly, and also so that they can help other people with good user experiences and interfaces to help people, particularly on the other side of the digital divide, as we bring them in. So there's such a huge role for young people, and on top of that, their energy, because this is such a huge challenge. We need the most energy we can possibly get.
Okay, and from the other angle, from the government, what should they do? They should put more money to encourage
Well, I think looking at the education systems, and actually ask some of the students and some of the parents, I mean, start looking at that. And they also should look at how education is created for the future. I mean, is this 4-year university degree or even a 2-year shorter associate's degree, technology is moving so fast that those are going to be obsolete once you blink. So are there other ways students can get practical experience? Are there different formats of education? Also, online learning and ongoing education are going to be hugely important. But also, you've seen a lot of places with these digital governance initiatives, looking at participatory budgeting, things like that. Those are perfect opportunities for bringing younger people into the conversations. And I always look at an analysis of the different stakeholders in a problem. Who's the ones who are most affected? Who's got the power to fix things? What do you need? What does it take to get it? Okay. And that, again, points straight to including youth in the policy conversations, because that's how you get the best policies.
Okay, so let them involved, let them making policy together. Yeah.
Well, I think, voting is, it comes at a certain age, it's different in every country, but I think that there are participatory governance formats that don't necessarily involve voting the way we've done it in the past. You can also notice trends on social media. I think there are different kinds of conversations that we can talk about that may not be even what we think about as traditional voting, and also make sure that the grown-ups, the so-called grown-ups, are listening to the kids.
Yeah, it seems like you all agree with her fully. Okay, next question comes to you, Professor. How do you see the feasibility of achieving digital inclusion for young people, including underserved youth?
Yeah, that's a very concerned question, and because in those areas, underserved places, and those digital devices, digital resources is even hard to be accessed by the people. And actually, in the process of the digital transformation, we need actually the demand of digital talents is increasing, actually is exponentially increasing. And we have a huge gap on those talents.
Yeah,
for the educator point of view, we are dealing with the challenges. As mentioned, we have created many curriculums on the emerging technologies like AI, machine learning, data, big data, and especially we collaborated with Huawei using their machines. Actually, we collectively designed the curriculums, and we targeting the people in those underserved areas. And how to do that? From the university government the perspective, we designed services like the programs called service computing and service learning, and we educate people in those underserved areas by sending students and faculty members to those areas, remote areas in mainland China, in Cambodia, in Indonesia, to help those students with very funny, interesting topics like a machine learning game, and actually students obviously are very enthusiastic to participate, and actually the output is very significant. From the educator's point of view, my research actually got inspired by these requirements. So we're targeting the lightweight machine learning systems with very efficient, cost-effective manner. Actually, those devices can provide people everywhere, no matter you are, and we can supply.
Let me interrupt first. Those devices are cheap or pricey?
Very low, embedded system. We call tiny system.
Okay.
And we embed AI in those tiny devices like ASEAN chips, Huawei. And our university students developing, using their tools like Atlas 200 and developing the software for many, many innovation technologies. The difficulty on the tiny system is that we would like to make the costs as low as possible, but with a very high performance in accuracy prediction and something like that. And in particular, we are not just training students, we are serving students, serving people in those areas. We're developing some tiny machine learning system for smart health, for example. Actually, one of my PhD students they established, with my help, startups on that particular area with the financing support industry and investors. And they're developing some algorithms, systems on the everything in a very single machine for smart health services. Like nowadays, people, especially for the young people, is in a very remote area that got a very little service, a health check, for example, the scoliosis. And actually, if you go to the hospital, and the whole process is very expensive, and many people cannot afford it. And we developed the algorithms. Everything can be embedded, a very tiny machine with Huawei's chips inside. And actually, we established centers in many cities in China. And in the future, we'll, after get more investment, we'll place many other cities. And we can do that, serve people countryside. There's the radiation free. They just use very simple, deep neural network technologies, and the results is very, very high. And I believe that is the research contributing to digital inclusive.
Okay, thanks for your answer. But in Thailand, we need free internet first for such a telemedicine and stuff, you know. It's just...
That's Huawei's job, right?
Free internet and then cheap devices.
Yes.
Thank you very much. But according to the research of McKinsey and Statista, more than 52% of Asians are still offline and even denied to such technology. So Iona, how do you think digital inclusive could contribute to cultivate digital talents for a post-pandemic recovery?
All right, first of all, I noticed that despite our world is really transforming in the digitalization, but maybe people in this room didn't realize how digitalization actually increases the gap of inequality, especially in the accessibility of technology. And especially if you're youths that are born into unfortunate circumstances. For instance, if you can't afford the education, just like you mentioned, if you can't afford the devices, well, you're going to be automatically left behind. And at the same time, the world keeps moving on. And those youths, what about them? That's why digital inclusion is really important. Since like we want the world to move forward, we can't do it alone. We must involve everyone. The more, the merrier, right? And yeah, that's pretty much how the digitalization inclusivity really cultivate digital talents. This is an opportunity for youths especially. We want to gather everyone to be included, to be able to have the same accessibility. So yeah, pretty much digital inclusion really affects how the digital young talents will be able to sustain in the long term.
So let's talk about your solutions, your platform, Enable. So how does it work, and how do you foresee Enable as an effective platform to contribute towards digital inclusion, just like you said?
All right, actually, in my opinion, the real challenge of building a digital inclusivity community is the fact that no matter how high technology, there will always be a human side of it. Before this panel, I've listened and watched other panelists as well and speeches, and I've noticed, wow, there's so many high technologies these days. Just now I watched an AI generating music, movies, songs. Seems like we don't need humans anymore. Wow. But like, yeah, everything is so high tech. But that's the real issue here that I want to point out, especially for the younger generation after me. We must be able to think out of the box. We must be able to think creatively. How can we outrun these machines in the long term? How can we perform better than the machines? This is going to be a long-term race. That's why, relating to my platform Enable, I would like to build a digital inclusive community by building a job landing platform for those who have physical disabilities, so that, as Huawei Deputy mentioned, we don't want to leave anyone behind, regardless what their background is. We want to make technology accessible, and that's where Enable plays its part. We want people with physical disabilities to be able to work like us, to be able to land a job. And especially in the IT sector, and hopefully they will be able to achieve the same welfare as us and be as productive as everyone in this whole room.
Okay, so upgrade human before machine can upgrade themselves and outrun us, and then be like the Terminator movie, when they rule the world and they don't need human anymore. That's scary. Okay, last question, because we ran out of time already. Okay, this one comes to you all. Based upon your perspective, how do you think collective actions could contribute towards digital inclusions among private sector, academia, governments, youth, and everyone? Okay, go with you first.
Okay,
Professor.
I'll give a very short summary about our past experiences on the collective efforts, industry and the university and government. Actually, the merit, the beauty of digital transformation is the closed loop. Actually, we get the requirements from the customer, and then our researchers doing the fundamental research, and the cycling evolution will be running really efficient, right? So in the future, we're not just collaboration. We are targeting, for example, synergized efforts to make it the efforts as a continuum body, and then everything can be. The efficiency can be much improved, and also not just for the people, and also for the training of the young talents. Yeah,
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Iona?
All right. This is based on what I've mentioned earlier before. Like, there's a downside of digitalization. We created efficiency, we created automation, but some jobs are lost. There are no more jobs anymore. And this is where everyone must play a part. Not only universities, not only academia, not only the education sectors, but governments also, and private sectors as well, because we gotta do it together. And also, like, the human side, that's what I've mentioned earlier, the human side, there's nothing, even machines can replace the humanity. And yeah, it's really important for us to work together in order to not get that humanity outrun by the machines. We don't want to create or see a future where humans lost their humanity. We have no feelings, we lost touch of our worlds, we don't have the social connection. As a youth, I don't want to see that future. I want to see a world where technology can walk hand in hand with our human side. We don't want to lose that deep down in our hearts.
Thank you, Iona. Ms. Michelle, I keep you to be the last because I want you to conclude everything. We know that we all need to contribute to make it like efficiently inclusive. But how do we do exactly? From 1 to 3.
Well, I think we start with recognizing that it has to involve everyone. There are some ridiculous debates. Oh, the government's the only one. Oh, the private sector's the only one. Throw that out the window. Everybody needs to be working together. And I think we need to recognize that there are going to be winners and losers. Some people are going to lose their jobs. They're going to be left behind. Well, hopefully not. If they listen to us, nobody's going to be left behind. But we got to make sure that that happens. It's not inevitable. And you look at also the structure of businesses, whereby when machines are doing more, then there's going to be more investment in capital and less in humans. And you've got to come up with a way to make sure that the humans aren't being left behind. I mean, in the utopian world, the machines are doing more work, and the benefits of that accrue to all humans, not just the ones who are doing the best. And so I think that as we look through who are the winners and who are the losers, I think the winners have the biggest responsibility to make sure that the losers are brought along. And I think governments are there to make sure that that happens, but I think everyone needs to be conscious. It's why this theme of inclusion and closing the digital divide is so important. And also going back to, who's affected, who's got the power to do what needs to happen, and who's got the resources to make that happen, how to make sure everybody is working together. I think it's including an awful lot of the people in this room, right?
Yeah, they all are. They have all the resources, they have all power. And would you guys like to help, to contribute all together? If you will do that, please give us a round of applause, please. Has anyone has something to say more? 20 minutes is too short for such a panel discussion, but thank you very much. Thank you for, are you enjoying this one? Thank you very much. ขอบคุณครับ That would be all for our panel. Thank you very much. Thank you to Miss Michelle, Iona, and your professor. ขอบคุณครับ That would be all for us all.
ค่ะ ขอบคุณมากนะคะ so thank you very much for all the speaker and moderator for providing us with a wonderful, insightful and fruitful discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause once again for all the panelists today. Please.